dear class of 1965 from the Northeast High School, Kansas City. I want to submit to you my best regards for this 50-year anniversary. I'm grateful to all of you who enabled me as a 17-year-old fellow to experience the American way of life. In particular, I am very grateful to my hosts, the Browning family and the Overcrown family. But to every one of you whom I learned to know and with whom I had so memorable events, I want to express my thanks for making this year 1964-65 as one of the most outstanding milestones in my life. Now let me give you an impression what happened since. When I returned 50 years ago, I finished my secondary school with what we call in German Abitur, the German high school diploma. During this time, I had the opportunity to see a few of you in Schweinfurt, for example Bill Howard, who visited me there, and if I remember right, also Julie Reed, who lived there with her husband, who was an army officer stationed there. Later, when I was already employed, I also met Mrs. Overcrown, who did a trip to Europe and had a stopover in Zurich, Switzerland. I guess this was in 1974 or 75. Unfortunately, these contacts diminished until John Browning contacted me via Facebook. Thank you, John. I appreciated this very much. But now let me continue with the important stations in my life. After I had finished my secondary school, I went to the Technical University of Darmstadt, where I studied from 1967 through 1973 electrical engineering. I received there a diploma in control systems engineering. At this point, I especially want to say thank you to my electronics teacher at the Northeast High School, Mr. Wallace, who inspired me for these studies. In 1971, I married my girlfriend Gisela, who worked at the city administration in Schweinfurt. I met her after my return from the US in a German-American discussion group who met regularly every month. After the completion of my studies in March 1973, I got an employment at Dornier System, a daughter company of Dornier. Dornier System is an aerospace company at the Lake of Constance. Nowadays, the name of this aerospace company is no more existent. It had various names in the past, from European Aerospace and Defense up to now Airbus Space and Defense. My wife and I moved then to an apartment in Immenstadt, a town close to the company premises. In 1974, my daughter Martina was born, and in 1981 we moved to our new house. You will see also some photos later. During my business life, I had many opportunities to travel to the US, but never had the chance to come to Kansas City. My trips were mostly bounded to NASA facilities in Huntsville, Alabama, and Houston, Texas, and also to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. My private trips to the US were always destined to Boulder, Colorado, where my wife had relatives. From there, we made trips to various national parks in the West. I worked in the space business from 1973 through 2008, when I entered early retirement. I had a partial retirement contract over 6 years, where I worked 3 years at a reduced net income, and then had 3 years of early retirement at the same conditions. The year 2007 was a sad year, as my wife died suffering from breast cancer. The year 2014, however, was a delightful year, as my granddaughter Francisca was born. Since 2010, I have a new partnership which enriched my life with joint undertakings like mountain hiking, taking two nice golden retriever dogs for walkies, and also many trips to Thailand. I do mountain hiking mostly in Rauris, Austria, a village at about 1000 meters sea level and surrounded by mountains up and above 3500 meters. This village is the home of my new partner, and yeah, I spent almost half of the time there, and then we have the rest of the time either on trips or at the Lake of Constance. Now, before I show you some photos from my house, the Lake of Constance, and Immenstadt, and also Rauris, I wish you all a happy anniversary celebration. Thank you very much. Here you see a map of the Lake of Constance, or as it's called in German, Bodensee. In the circle it's the town of Immenstadt. To the south it's Switzerland, to the north Germany, and to the east Austria. Here you see the east entrance to the town of Immenstadt. This picture was taken in May when everything blooms. Across the street we have a lot of apple orchards. And not only apples, also pears and plums are growing there. Here you see a view of the marina of Immenstadt. The picture was taken in summer. Many boats are in the harbor. This is taken during winter time. It's also close to the marina where the fountain is covered with ice. Next you see a view from my top apartment studio across the lake to Switzerland. Over there you see the mountains of Switzerland, and also here you see my house, also taken in winter time, where the bushes are covered with snow. Next you see a view taken from the Zeppelin, and the yellow arrow you see is my house, and across the street, as I said before, you see these orchards. Now you have a look at the valley of Rauris in Austria, also taken during winter time, at a beautiful sunny day with quite a lot of snow. And here are my walks with the two golden retriever, Joy and Finn. And with that I would say bye bye, and again have a good time at your celebration.